sweltering heats of the Mojave Desert, to the unpredictable habitat of Tanzania's Serengeti, to the murky depths of the Mariana Trench, to the exhilarating heights of Mount Kilimanjaro, you have the pleasure of listening to From Chicago to Dummast, the Dummast Podcast.
Yo, what is up, everybody? You have made it to the Dummast Podcast, episode 59 of the Dummast Podcast. I got a special show for y'all today. I told y'all last week, one of my new, I don't know if you would call it a guilty pleasure, because I don't feel guilty about it. But one of the new things I'm into that I'm spending a lot of my free time with is GTA RP, GTA RolePlay. I told you guys that I would be trying to put together a panel of some of the players and some of the people throughout the city, some of the people I'm clicked up with, in for a panel discussion on, what kind of draws them to GTRP. So that's what I got. That's what I got today. I actually got that interview. I think about 6 or 7 people to come in. I can't really remember. But we break it down. We have discussions. We talk about moments that happen in the city and things like that. So definitely want you guys to, sit back, relax, check this out. Just a funny conversation among friends. And we all kick it. We all fellowship. And I think that's pretty cool. So that's what I got for y'all today. And that, that's pretty much going to be the gist of the show. But I do want to talk about some things before I get into that. And, I was talking to y'all last time on, me taking a break from the show and everything, and why I took a break. But while I was on that break, I was doing a lot of content creation and actually making money and having fun with this content creation from like November to I think it might have been maybe early February. And even before that, like I really stepped it up with the reels, with the stories and things like that. And I start to find myself becoming monetized in some platforms like Facebook and Instagram and things like that. But just getting more successful and, trying to find out ways to, reach out to different audiences via that content. But I don't know. It's just it's kind of weird now, and I'm starting to realize that a lot of that content creation that I would create was because of maybe the weather. You know what I'm saying? Like I know it's weird, but I find myself now just like in a certain mood. I'm not outside as much, even though we haven't had like a really crazy cold winter. This winter has been mild by in my opinion, it's been very mild. We get a lot of 50 degrees, some 60 degrees, and a couple weeks ago we actually went up to the 80s. And I went out and took the camera out and was not photographing, but making videos of the kids riding their bikes and stuff like that. But like I said, I notice a lot of my content is not weather driven, but like my mood. And in saying that, I am ready. I'm so over this weather. I need this weather to go. I can't wait for spring. I can't wait for the summer. And I even love fall. Fall is my favorite season of the year. But this winter shit is not cool. This 5 o'clock it's total dark and you can't do anything, really can't go anywhere. Well, you can go places, you can do things, but it's all dependent on, going outside and shit like that. But I don't know. I'm just so looking forward to what the warmer weather will bring. And me getting back into that content creation, me getting back into, that creative mode when it comes to some of the shorter content that I do. Not so much the podcast. I'm already locked in on that. I need to get locked back in with the gaming, getting my gaming shit on. Oh, by the way, I did get monetizing Twitch now. So I am a Twitch affiliate. And this is going to go back to what I was speaking about before about GTA Roleplay. GTA Roleplay has carried me over the threshold. I have literally been trying to be Twitch affiliate for, goodness, some time now. It seems like I've been trying to be Twitch affiliate at least a year. If I'm not mistaken, it's been at least a year me trying to be Twitch affiliate. But that GTA Roleplay community picked me up, just carried me over the threshold. Didn't take long at all. I'm making money on there, not a lot, but making some money, making some noise on that. But just to go back, I'm looking forward to the weather being nice and taking the kids on like little small trips. I ain't got really nothing planned as far as like big trips this year. We did the big trip last year. We went out to Dominican Republic for 3 weeks. But I'm looking forward to, those smaller things like Great Wolf Lodge and Massanutten, and maybe taking the kids to Virginia Beach or Ocean City, Maryland, or something else I've been thinking about, Myrtle Beach. Just those smaller trips. Think I might be able to get to Chicago this year if everything fall in place. But, just some of the smaller little weekend getaways, try to get out to a cabin and shit like that. And, just get back into that creative mode. I think they're two different grinds when it comes to, what I do for the podcast, which is, your mind is always working when it, you're trying to find the right interviews and you're trying to find the right things to talk about. You're trying to line up interviews and you're talking to people. It's a total different grind when you're doing, on the fly content creation. And I was kind of doing a lot of stuff. I was doing reactionary stuff. I was doing some, just talking about certain things and talking about my, mental health and talking about seasons and just talking about a lot of different stuff, kind of throwing a lot of stuff against the wall to see what stick. Doing a lot, was doing wrestling stuff, showing stuff with my kids, and that stuff paid off. Like I said, I made was making some noise for a little bit, but for no reason other than just couldn't get out consistently and just not being in that right frame of mind. Just I kind of fell back from it, but I'm ready to get back into it because that shit was very fun. That shit was very fun. I really enjoyed making that content, and I think my kids did too. But I'm ready to get back into that. And I just need the weather to be nice. I need, the barbecue weather. Man, I'm outside. Like, I'll just look out the window and just look at my grill. Like, man, I could throw something on the grill now, but I'm going to freeze while doing it, I'm just ready for, waking up in the morning, cutting the grass, getting that shit out the way and just running around with the kids outside. I'm just ready to get in that mode. And we almost there. Like I'm driving around and I'm seeing like the cherry blossoms. I'm seeing the little white leaves on the tree. So we almost there. It's early March. I think I got a couple more weeks. Hopefully we can start consistently getting into the 60s, maybe sneaking into the 70s. And I'm talking about consistent. Only thing I got to worry about is the pollen. The pollen fuck with me. The spring pollen, that shit really fucks with me. But I mean, other than that, just ready to get back into creative mode. I'm ready to get back into creative mode on all fronts. Like right now, like I said, the podcast is the podcast, and that's like a constant thing with me right now. I'm in that mode, lining up interviews. I have several interviews already on deck that I can kind of like puzzle piece into what I do. But just that constant, of course I got work and I got outside stuff, but just to, that constant, got my phone ready to talk about whatever. And also this, and then getting back into the gaming and recording gameplay, which I'm not sure if I get back into, seeing as though I stream at least 3 or 4 times a day. When I got free time. So when I got free time, and it's usually during the night, so I sacrifice some sleep doing it, which is fine because I don't sleep that much anyway. but I'm constantly always in stream mode. So I think I might replace some of the recording. I do want to get back into recording, but I kind of want to, keep doing what I'm doing with the streaming. Sons of Dummast, that's my son's show. That's not probably. We really don't start that to the end of the May when they out of school. So, but I'm ready to get back into that mode where it's just full throttle. But anyway, I told you guys I was about to get into that panel discussion with GTA Roleplay. Got several of my friends and colleagues. I like to call them colleagues. I don't know why. But some of my friends from GTRP and the server I am in with. And I noticed when I did it, I didn't really talk about my character. So I'm going to do that right now before I get into this interview. My character is Artist Vandelay. Artist Vandelay, importer, exporter. If you watched Seinfeld before, you've heard of that name. So Artist Vandelay, that is my name. Some people call me Artemis. I don't know where that came from, but okay, whatever. It's all good. But yes, Art Vandelay, importer, exporter. But my character is an all-around hustler. He's a grinder. He's a hustler. He makes money any way he can within his moral compass. He's a good dude. He ain't gonna do nothing snake. He ain't no snake. He ain't one of those shit lords. He not one of those people that is gonna do some immoral shit to make his money. But he gonna make his money. So I've done while doing this, and usually people are shocked of how much money Artist usually has. Artist could be one day a grinder where he's working in a factory. Artist could be a garbage truck driver. Artist could be a contract killer. Artist could be a drug dealer. Artist could be, he just makes money all type of ways. It's like, basically when I hop in there, I'm like, where the money at? Let's get the money. If that means me being in a field picking weed plants, that's what I'm going to do. I am an all-around hustler. And I got nice shit. And that's really Artist's character. I'm going to introduce you to some of the other characters in GTA Roleplay in the server that I'm into. Let's get it. Yo, what's up, everybody? It is Icekold, and I am here with my team. Some people on the team from GTA RP, the Hidden RP server. I want to introduce everybody. First up, we got Nathan. What's good, man?
It's good. My in-character name is Jacob, but everybody calls me Skelly. So.
All right. Radioactive Dog. What's up, man?
Mm-hmm. My character's name is Tyler. I just do my thing, man. I just make money, meet people, work at the mechanic shop.
Okay.
Fall down cliffs.
Jump off houses.
Land face first.
Get locked up,
Get locked up.
That type of thing. I ran over some dude yesterday.
Okay.
That was bad.
Not only did you run over some dude, you shot somebody and ended up in jail.
Yeah.
You shot two locals, I think.
I shot one.
All right, we got my all right, so my in the city, this is my roommate. We got a house together. We make money, we cool. We real cool. My boy J Money, what's up, man?
What's up, man? I'm J Money. I'm a dirty, rotten criminal. And I also do a cop and EMS character as well.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got the first lady of the group, Miss Alexandra. What's up?
Hello. I don't really do much. I don't do anything. I hang out. That's literally it. That's basically it right now. Until we get everything set up, I've been a bartender. I've been a dancer. I've been until we get shit set up. Right now, I'm not doing much.
Event coordinator.
That's true. I am doing events now with 4CH.
All right. And you also run into people all the time. So that's all.
Constantly.
She's always knocking people over and sending them to the hospital.
All the time.
Mostly Tyler.
Yeah, all the time. All the time.
All right. We got friend of the show. You guys have seen him before on the show plenty of times. We got the Odd Man. What's up, Odd Man?
What's up? Yeah, I'm Odd. I run the Cult of Odd, and in the city, I am known as Roaster Johnson, loudmouth son of a bitch businessman that ain't taking your shit.
That's right. That's right. And you got my main man, my ace. You know what I'm saying? My partner in crime, Rotten Hatred. What's up, what?
What's up, everybody? I play the one and only Kimi Casanova, aka the poorest man in Los Santos. I ain't got no money.
You know what? He's right. He ain't got no money, but he a lying son of a bitch.
That dude is a liar. This dude will look you in your face and tell you he ain't got no money, but pull up in a Lambo or some shit.
This car right here, it's a rental. It's just a rental.
That's my grandma's car, man.
Dude got a $185,000 Chrysler 300.
It's a rental.
Yes. Yeah. So this is the team. This is what I've been talking about. I've been talking about GTA. Talked about it a lot on the last episode of the Dummast podcast. So I kind of wanted to introduce you guys to some of the people who can talk about GTA RP with me. So maybe y'all can kind of understand where I'm coming from and why this has been like such a I guess time waster. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with kink. It's a kink. So you know.
Oh God.
Definitely.
Yep. So I'm gonna start off with Odd Man. Odd Man. So you the one who put me onto this. It's your fault.
Oh, blame me.
Yes. I knew about it before. I've talked to some people about it, but you were the one that actually got me to get in.
Oh,
you were
yeah,
telling me for months about this.
Mhm.
So
one of
If you're gonna blame him, you have to blame me
because you got him.
I got him in.
No.
So yeah.
Oh,
so you know what? I'm gonna skip you, man. I'm gonna go to Ali. Ali.
Oh, God.
How and why? Like why did you bring us? Why did you do this to us?
Because I hate you all, obviously.
Why you do this?
No. So I'd known about it for, as long as it's been around. It'd been a thing that I'd watched on Twitch, but I really got into it when I found a Twitch streamer by the name of Officer Messer. I just liked watching him. He's a cop. He runs through it. He's fucking crazy. I really like watching him. And it wasn't until we started just playing GTA again, because I just got the bug like you do randomly with other games. Like, I want to get back into this, get back into this, get back into this. So we were just playing GTA with a couple of friends, and I started looking into the servers, and I was like, okay, what all would I need to do? So I went through it all, and I looked, and the first one that I found, I was like, okay, you have to try this with me. I just want to jump in. We'll see what it's like. So I took him into the first city. And
I came in like a wrecking ball.
He did. It was chaos. Instantly, we fell in love with it. It was day in, day out. Like, it just clicked. Everything clicked.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. What about you? Like, is this taking over your life?
I mean, yes and no, because like it's breathed new life into other projects in the same process. I will tell you this, the most beneficial thing from RP that I think I've gotten is it's allowed me to keep the improv muscle strong, right? Because it's a lot of thinking on your feet. It's a lot of getting to be creative and just going as wild as you can, or as plausible. Like Rooster pushes the realm of plausibility.
Right.
But it's just what drew me to it. What I basically got the bug from is the ability to be as creative and to flex that improv muscle, because you never know what you're going to get.
Right. So there have been some people that's been doing this RP thing well before us three, Ali. So I think J Money, how long have you been into it?
About, I think, like 3 or 4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah,
been in all type of cities and everything.
I moved to Vegas to work for a YouTuber, and while I was there, I started watching a lot of GTRP, and one of my coworkers was pretty big into it. I joined him. He kind of showed me around and stuff, and I kind of liked it. At first, I was like, I don't know, it might be one of those things where I'd have more fun if I just watched it. But then after I got into it, I'm like, well, shit, this is actually a lot of fun. I like the massive online, like you can meet all different types of people and do pretty much anything you want. Like one day you could be like hitting this Vangelico like I am right now, or or you could be like setting up a business if you wanted to. Like you can pick any path.
Maybe.
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 Possibly. Tyler, Radioactive Dog. How long you been doing this?
Shit, probably 3.5, 4 years now.
Okay.
I started off. A buddy of mine actually, he used to play it back when I was in fucking like middle school, and he told me about it, and he was like, "Hey man, you should come try this sometime." So I went over to his house, I downloaded it, and we hopped into a server. I don't know if it's still up. Last I checked, it got even bigger. They have an English and a Spanish server now. It's called Vandal RP. We hopped up in there. We met a couple people. Then we all went to another server, and then from there we branched off and made our own with another group of people. From there, I went into Whack Pack with one of the guys from that server who had told us about that place, and that's how I met the creators of Mainframe. You know, like MK. I was in his game in his gang on Whack Pack, and we came over to Mainframe. He made that bitch, and now we ended up here. And it's just a great time killer, man. Like it's something you could do at any time. Like I could come in here at any mood really and leave usually in a good mood. Right. Now I will say there are times where it is just straight bullshit. That's with anything, you know what I'm saying? There are certain times you just be getting ocean dumped, you know, shit like
Pocket
that.
wipe.
Pocket wipe, ocean dumped,
tackled, shot,
occasionally stabbed.
Held hostage, blown up by a terrorist. You know.
Oh my God! Can we talk about that one?
No, man. All in all, I love it.
Wizards be wizarding,
and it's something. It's definitely something I feel like there's a spot in RP for everybody. You know, like I feel like any type of person could do this. I mean, hell, just look at here. We all come from very different walks of life, and that's just a perfect representation right there.
Right. All right, so I'm gonna go with Skelly next, the baby of the group. Skelly, how long you been doing this RP thing?
Only about 1.5 years now, which is surprising because I got my PC around 2 years ago, but I only started getting into really getting into 5M, and I'd say around March. So actually, yeah, closer to 2 years than 1.5 years, but whatever. And yeah, it all started off by me just goofing around on some servers, just shooting people for no reason and almost getting banned, just because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. At the beginning, I didn't even have my fucking mic open. I couldn't even talk or hear anybody. But yeah, and then I switched off to fucking zombie servers somehow. And I just roleplayed on there for God knows how long. And after a while, the guys that I was with on that server brought me to another server, and then another one, and then another one. And then I ended up meeting another gang called the Spartans. And after months, they invited me to join them on Mainframe, and now I'm here.
Okay. In a whole different city. In a whole different server.
That's right.
All right. And my main man, Kimmy. Rotten Hatred. What's up? How long you been doing this RP thing, man?
I want to say about 3 to 4 years sounds right. Yeah. You know, I definitely hopped around a large amount of cities, a lot of servers. I did my fair share of Red Dead RP as well, you know. The main reason why I ended up eventually here was because one of my guys wanted to start making music, where eventually that idea grew into Rockford Records itself. So, yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about Rockford Records. See, I love Rockford Records. That was my shit.
I read the handbook. I know how to sue everyone.
This motherfucker.
Almost had to do it at the park earlier. You see that bullet?
No. There's a reason I picked you up. So we're not doing this shit today.
So tell me about Rockford Records. What is Rockford Records? What does it mean? And what role does Rockford Records have in the city of Los Santos?
Well, Rockford Records was always a record studio. You know, eventually we adapted it to the podcast because we saw so many different opportunities when we saw the podcasting room from the boarding room. Pretty much by the time we saw the entire interior of the initial building is when the ideas just started to flourish. You know, originally we only were making like 1 or 2 songs every month, to the point where now we ended up getting multiple artists. We got multiple different podcasters, you know, just like artists, and Rooster eventually joined the roster, you know, with the one and only Xavier. And it just grew bigger than what I think I would have ever thought originally it would grow into, you know.
Right.
It's just a beautiful thing to watch flourish, you know.
Okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So have some good memories of Rockford Records. Hopefully, we can get that back up and running again.
Never know.
Hell yeah. So, I want to talk about like why there's just so much things to do, and just like Kimmy mentioned about Rockford Records, you can do podcasts, you can be you can go in there and you can be a rapper or a musician, you can go in there, you can be a police officer, you could be a drug dealer. It's endless possibilities on what you can do, and that's what drives me to it, because you're interacting with people who are in there for a totally different reason than what you're in there for. It's just so cool that it's almost like just like when you walk outside, but you're doing it from the convenience of your own home. I think that's so cool. I think that's dope. Somebody tell me how do y'all feel it? What draws you to this?
Yeah, I got some. The reason I think I keep doing it is because before, you know, I'd be going out getting like fucking hammered every night, you know what I mean? And kind of to the point of like, I think I heard Rooster say something about, you know, kind of like, you know, wasting life away type of like the joke that you made. Mm-hmm. I think it's like, you know, what else would I be doing with my time? You know, like, is there anything else? Like, would I just be being like a shitlord in real life? You know what I mean?
Right. So it's better the shitlord in the service than shitlord out in the streets. Right. You know what I'm saying? I feel you on that. But what does anybody else get out of this? Like,
personally, my favorite type of RP I've done so far, I absolutely loved the police RP from the time I've done it. There's just because, you know, number one, you've obviously got a certain amount of professionalism you have to uphold. You know, that's just a requirement. But there is so much fun to be had, man, and it's just such a great, like I've said again, a great time killer, man. I've met so many lifelong friends through this damn game. People that I never would have met through any other game, because there's just something about the RP community that you cannot explain. It's unlike any other game you've ever played. And there will never be anything like it, because these people, we just build a connection.
Exactly.
And it's definitely something everybody needs to experience, man.
It's almost like the people within the city is what builds your experience. If that makes any sense.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That is true.
You can go to one server and get something totally different, but our server, you know, we close knit, and what you see on the screen, what everybody see on the screen, that's just the tip of the iceberg. We roll deep. It's like 30 of us that are just like close as hell. This is just what I can get here at this time at 12 p.m. 12 a.m. I'm sorry, 12 a.m. on a Saturday night or Sunday morning, whatever you want to call it. So it's like I said, it's just that. Like every time I'm going in there, I'm getting a different experience. I will have a mindset to go in there and do one thing, and then I'll get a call and I'm redirected doing something else. I might want to go do mats or do materials, you know, and I might 5 minutes later be on a corner selling cocaine.
You know? Gotta move something around.
Go hunting, and then you get taken to pillbox, and then suddenly you come back and your ride's being arrested and handcuffed.
You see sometimes man, sometimes shit just happens. And that's part of that thing that Rooster was talking about earlier. You know, it's all spontaneous. Everything is, you know, shit just happens, bro. And it's like it's like real life in the sense that you can't plan for things.
Exactly.
You can have an idea.
You can have an idea like, hey, I need to do this today, but shit happens in between that you just don't have control of.
Well, I like the idea, like I said earlier, the creativity. I'm a lazy writer, right? I have a million ideas in my head, but no drive or desire to sit down and write them. However, through the vessel of Rooster Johnson, I can take all these ideas for stories and kind of jam them into one person and set him about the world. I've always liked the carnival barker and the snake oil salesman type, but like they sound like that, they move like that, they work like that, but they have good intentions behind it. And so creating Rooster as an embodiment, that's what it allowed me to do, is it's allowing me to tell a series of stories. And I think that's the biggest draw for me, is I can use it as a vessel to tell stories. However wild they might be.
You don't get to just tell your story though. You get sucked into other people's stories. Like
If
the
you're not
JB
careful.
thing. Like the JB
Yeah.
thing that happened. That was not something that we had a hand in, but we ended up having to have a hand in. We
Yeah,
had
it was
to
dropped
help
on our lap.
him. Like it was dropped on our lap like the morning it happened. We knew it was gonna happen.
Can you explain what happened with the whole JB thing?
I don't know if we can.
Yeah, it's
not everybody in here knows the real story. Only 3 of us actually really know.
The long and the short of it comes down to this: is JV wanted to kill off his character, but he didn't want to leave forever. And he still wanted to have the connection. So he came up with a plan on his own. He dropped it on our lap, and we had maybe 3 hours before he pulled the trigger on it. And then we all just had to move with it.
Maneuver,
it was not like coordinated in any way, shape, or form. It was
but it wasn't. That was the thing. There was only a few of us.
But it was each individual person just kind of moving about the scene until it was over.
I will tell you, for the amount of time we had to prepare for that, everyone involved did that
It was
fantastic.
beautiful, wasn't
it? That was some Grammy level acting from everyone, bro.
When I heard after the fact what happened, I was like, "Yo."
Yeah, that shit. I knew the whole time what was going down, but
he was one of the ones that knew.
The whole time I was just sitting there, and I was like, "Man, come on, man! This feels a little too real, man."
It did. People were
crying. I watched my boy die. I watched this man flatline, bro.
Yeah, it was so real. I flew into the city. And the very first thing that happened, I don't know what happened. Kimmy gave me a call, or I gave Kimmy a call. He was like, "Hey, man, before you do anything, go to Polito and go see Rooster and Alex." I'm like, "Wow, what's going on? Just go see Rooster and Alex." So I drive out there, and I knew something was up because you guys were like just standing on the front, weren't saying nothing, and we
probably should actually clarify that JB is our son. In the city, JV is our son. Was our son.
Okay, so I was like, "Oh shit, something happened," because they are, I think Rooster was in a long coat, and I'm like, "What's going on?" So
we were in full grieving mode.
Yeah. So on my way up there, I did tell J Money, I was like, "Yeah, you might want to talk to them too." I'm on my way up here now. I can't remember exactly how that went, but I talked to them first, and y'all dropped that on me. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I went to the store, got changed so I can, look appropriate for the occasion and whatever. I told J Money, he went and, I guess, I don't know how y'all told him, but I don't know, man. I thought that was like, the way we had to come up with that on the fly.
There were 4 people that knew what was going on. 3 of them are in this room. The other one was Sean. Mm-hmm. That was the only people that knew and how it had to go down and how we had to layer it out because it was planned to the littlest detail.
Mind you, I only knew a small portion of it.
I was heavy on it.
Yeah, everything you saw out of me was me on my feet thinking of how do we play this? How do we keep going?
I had to plan with everything. Like it was JB and I working in tandem trying to get every detail correct. I knew he wanted to do this. I did not know exactly how. I had to roll with everything he was telling me. Like he told me beforehand, 3 hours before he took me in his car, we went to site and he goes, "Okay,
let's do it.
Here's how it's going." And I was like, "I don't agree with this. I don't like it. This is going to be really tough. And he was like, I know, but it's what I wanted. I was like, okay, then I'm going to roll with it because it's what you want to do.
Yeah, I gave a touching eulogy and then punched a cop.
Yeah.
The cop shouldn't have pissed on his body.
I did no preparations for that at all, man.
I dropped it on you an hour before.
Yeah, everything I did was on the fly. I made that shit up. The note that I stuck in his pocket, I did that was not planned.
God.
That was not planned.
Wait.
That was just my intuitive thinking.
No. We
That
have
shit
to stop on that. Because that
shit was
so
fantastic.
good on your part. I was standing in there by his body in the hospital. We're all saying our goodbyes, taking turns, but I would not leave his side. This motherfucker broke me and him. JB behind the scenes is sending me messages in Discord the entire time going, I'm fucking crying. Because we broke this man. We broke him.
You asked for
note.
Yep.
Yeah, the note. I stuck a note in his pocket, and it was just along the lines of like I know you won't be gone forever, and I'll see you again. And when we came to the graveyard,
oh God,
I did my little speech thing. I poured a bottle out for him, and then I was walking back to the truck, and this dude just runs up to me in all black and hands me a note. That shit, bro, I'm telling you, that shit, man, that shit was crazy. You cannot explain the feeling of just knowing something just perfectly. It worked to perfection. Everything worked exactly how it was supposed to work.
After the fact, when artists saw me in the long coat, I had put together an outfit like grieving, in mourning, and the outfit had an orange tie. And that was a personal touch. At one point, JB was trying to run a gang in the city, and their colors were orange and black. And I found out after, when he walked up again, like when this character in all black that Tyler was mentioning walked up again and saw me in the orange tie, I got a message from him and says, "You motherfucker."
He broke. The touch is like, you know how bad I decorated my house after is like the form of grieving. That's how I okay, the touches of orange throughout the house are all tied back to him. Like his room is decorated like he was there, and then what happened and I couldn't touch it again. Like his room is decorated like the bed is messy, there's folded laundry still written, like everything is ready. Like, and nobody has touched it since. And it's the level of detail that we put so much into that. Yeah. That nobody knew. But was so prevalent in like the things that we do. The stories that we tell are real to the character to a fault. Exactly. Like it is real. Exactly.
And that's, man, like you could say whatever you want to, but if you've ever been through it, the hardest thing to do is kill off a character. That shit, bro, listen, there have been times where I have had to do that. Like I've had to kill characters in other cities. And when you've played it, like for Tyler, if there ever comes a day that I do kill off this character, it'll be the end of me playing RP. Just for the fact that I have spent 2.5 years now building this story behind this character. And the fact that there are some times that you just have to watch people kill that story, that shit hurts, man. Especially like because you build connections with these people, right? And
you can't just get them back when you have a new character. Like you can't just do that.
Exactly.
It's
quite literally in a sense losing somebody.
Okay. When JB killed off his character and brought in this new, like we don't have the same thing that we did. It's not our son. Like we know that's that person, but it's not the same thing. It is a difference to a like finite little piece. Like you can't call that person what you called them before. You can't talk to them the way you talk to them because they're off on this new story arc. That is a really hard thing to manage.
Right.
Because you want to.
Yeah. Yeah,
I haven't killed off any characters because of that. Because like I have so many like friends with J Money. J Money was my first ever character, and it's like if I kill him off, then all my friends like
you don't have those friends anymore.
You know?
Yeah, that's totally true. And speaking of the character in black, as I was walking, like when you guys told me, I walked off to go change my clothes, and like it just got so heavy. I walked off. The character in black followed me down the street just to give me a hug.
Yeah,
just to give me a hug.
The entire time, the whole time I was yelling at him,
gave me a hug.
The whole time I was yelling at him, I said, "Get in the fucking car!" The entire time he was just chasing after you, and I was like, "Dog, we are trying to get you out of here."
Yeah.
And you're trying to get involved, like he was standing there the whole time, like in an attention stance, like staring at you. When me and Rooster were like, "Yeah, man."
I wish I could tell the full story. I don't know if he wants that.
No, we don't have to tell the full story, but I just
detail to it. I have to tell you in private at least, because the detail to it the role I had to play in that was shattering. Like, I was literally messaging him the entire time. I was like, I fucking hate you. I hate you so much for making me do this. And he was just, I love you. I'm so sorry. I was like, I fucking hate you. I joined after we left that night. I literally joined a voice call with him, and I was like, you're a son of a bitch. I will never forgive you for this. And I still haven't. I still bring it up with him on like a weekly basis. Like, I don't want to hear it. Do you remember what you made me do before? Because I'm not over that yet.
Now, I'm going to kind of pivot away from that. And I just kind of want to talk about like crazy, wild moments that we've all been through. And I got like so many. Like, and it's so, another reason why I love this is because you can have like a string of days where you really nothing really happened, but then just something just happened out of the blue. Like, for one, I'm looking at Rotten Hatred. I remember just being in his mansion and pulling my gun out, and the gun accidentally goes off and shoots up his kid. I destroyed his fucking kid. I probably let off a whole magazine in this man's kitchen.
Stay out of my kitchen.
Fruits, everything. Just off the table, off the counter. He's destroyed everything.
The gun just was, I couldn't. The gun was just shooting by itself. Me being with J Money, doing a robbery in, I forget, what's the name of this place? Valedigo? I don't know.
Evangelico. This place right here. Oh, here, one sec. You're not fucking breaching. Don't even fucking try it.
So we're in Evangelico, but we're robbing the place. But we're robbing the place as 1920s gangsters with what's the big idea, copper? We doing voices like that, and the police are dying laughing. You know what I'm saying? I just got so many just like crazy moments that it's just so many in my head. I can't even say them all now. What are some crazy moments that y'all have been through? Like just some wild shit.
Probably one of the craziest events that I could think of off the top of my head is I mentioned it before the podcast. There was that court case in Whackpack with the Bloodberries gang versus the state of San Andreas for that RICO charge that came down with us. They had brought forward so much fucking evidence. I had personally 8,000 bags of coke, 3,500 bags of meth, 16 Dracos, 4 sawed-off shotguns, $3 million in dirty money. That was the evidence against me personally, not to mention the countless pictures behind said evidence, the countless drug deals of me on my Yamaha that had my plate. And this court case took 10 hours total. This was over 2 days on the weekend, and we went through 2 district attorneys who quit.
Damn.
During the case, there were 2 separate district attorneys during the case, and we had 2 separate lawyers. We had one lawyer, Liam, actually, who I had the law firm with in Mainframe. He was our first lawyer. We all go back. We all go way back, and he was part of the family, but he was like our businessman. He was our consigliere, if you per se,
Yeah.
and he quit on the last day because the 2 guys who were getting charged with me were literally just standing up at the front of this courtroom with 50 people in the courtroom saying, "Fuck you, judge. Fuck you, jury. Fuck you, district attorney." And he quit. So then the head of our group had to represent us in court. But I was supposed to get life in jail for that. I ain't even gonna lie, but I got out of it. They gave me 420 months, $250,000 fine. I made it out of that one.
Gotcha. I want to hear from Skelly. What's the wildest moment you ever had, man?
Fuck. It has to be a war that was going on between my group and another group on like the first ever server I actually roleplayed in. Cause like this shit was a full out war, like completely. Just like I remember one time, me and all my friends, we just fucking hopped all in a car, drove to their base, snuck in, and as I was hiding in a bush, and like, keep in mind, all of the fucking members that were active in that group were awake. Like, they were on at that moment when we were in their base. I was hiding in a bush in the front. I see a guy just right behind the bush looking at the gate, and then he just sneaks into the same bush as me. And he never noticed me at all. And like, I wasn't even wearing green to camouflage with the bush. I was just wearing black. And I was like, holy fuck, how? So eventually we just snuck out, and they ended up kidnapping us. And I had to go midway through like the interrogation, so I woke up back up in the base. And then the owner beat me up and then just threw me out. And then later, we were at our mechanic shop, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go buy this or blah blah blah. So I hop on my bike, I drive, and I stop where I need to go, and then out of nowhere, just this fucking armored MRAP that pulls up, runs over my bike, and they kidnap me again. And then I was like, fuck, I'm getting kidnapped on the radio, and all my friends came panicking. They all got kidnapped too, and then we got fucking run up to the mountains and shot. And like the worst part is that a week later, all of the other group got fucking banned.
Oh wow!
Just
Damn.
out of nowhere. So we were like, "Well, shit, I guess we won."
What about you, Kimmy? What's the wildest? What's wildest, or maybe some of the wildest things you've ever?
Let's see. I'm gonna have to go with the most recent event. Chris Ramos, no ankles.
That was gonna be mine. Oh
man. Just hearing Artis's reaction in the city of a man walking around with no ankles, no eyebrows.
Let me tell the story. Go ahead. let me tell the story.
What's going on?
All right, so I fly into the city, and Kimmy like, hey, come out here. Come out to Polito. So I come out to Polito, right? Kenny's waiting outside of the recycling plant. Right? He was like, hey man, I need to holler at you. I got somebody who can do some work for us. And when I mean work, I mean go out there and sell some drugs, right? So he telling me the script, he's like, yeah, he looked like he'll be good. We can pay him this, we can get him to do this, we can get him to do that. But before you go in there, it's something I gotta tell you.
So hold up, wait a minute. Where you gonna talk to?
I'm thinking this man gonna say like I don't just some crazy shit, but he was like, he ain't got no ankles, bro. I'm like, what? He ain't got no ankles. Hold on, let me see this shit. As God is my witness, I went in there, and the dude did not have ankles, right? And I was just fixated on it the whole fucking night. I couldn't believe that somebody would take the time to create their character and see the fact that there's no ankles there, and he's cool with that. He's totally fine with that. So I have a heart to heart with this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole night, like, listen, bro, you gotta do better. You gotta fix yourself up, bro. I don't want to see you out here like this no more, man. I can't have you hanging out with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, they go artists. You know what I'm saying? He hang around people with no ankles. I can't have that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was pretty hard on the dude, right? I never saw dude. I think I was a little bit too hard on it. But funny part, before I even get off the subject and go to somebody else, it was one moment that night we had dude out there selling drugs, right? And the man said, hey, this girl just ran off with my drugs. And we were like, well, find her and get it back. And he was like, I don't see her. Oh, wait, I do see her. But all you heard was boom. Like,
oh shit.
All you saw was her head fly back. Hilarious.
I was rolling when I saw that shit.
Yeah, and it was on Twitch, and Jay Money heard this shit. Man. Like you heard the sound, like because we were like way back, right? Rooster, what's yours, man? What's the wildest moment you remember?
You know what? I'm gonna let Ali pick which one because she's been around for most of them. What do you consider the wildest moment for Rooster? Because Rooster's pretty wild.
The guy that you dumped on the train tracks and then dumped on Chiliad. In Badlands before we met. Like, this poor guy. Oh, he really fucked up. Do you remember how that started?
So he was a tow truck driver.
Yeah, but that's also the guy that was hitting on me and Daisy.
Yeah, well, he was a tow truck driver that was fucking up in the city. In the first city that I was in, that Rooster was in, Rooster was a tow truck driver, independent, sold meth and PCP to get his first tow truck. Right? Like, not only was he selling, but he was cooking meth, Breaking Bad style, in the fucking camper to go sell it to get his.
That's mine. You stay away from that story.
But anyways, so we did that. I did that and bought my first tow truck, and like I was territorial as fuck, man. You don't poach my tows, and you don't leave customers stranded. Those are the two things that pissed me off the fastest, and this one guy did both. And then he became infatuated with Alex, and who else was it?
Daisy, the other Johnson family that came into that.
Yeah, Alex and Daisy, and he was being super creepy and being really weird towards them.
Like we would go to Tequila La, and he would just show up there and try to buy us. Like he knew where we were, so it was really
at all
creepy.
Times.
Yeah,
and that was weird. So me and a few friends on the server got together, and the girls enticed him out to Tequila La, and we met him.
When you say we, you don't explain the scale. We had a full-on military operation. Motherfuckers hiding on rooftops. There were like
I
4
had at
cars
least
in
10 on the ground with me and 6 more up
watching
around
us at all times on rooftops
yeah.
and specific points to watch and make sure that Daisy and I were perfectly okay. This was a full-on like military-style operation. These motherfuckers were blacked out, and we would hear them like they were laying flat on the roof where you couldn't see from the ground,
and we would hear the radio chatter.
We were all on the same radio, but we couldn't talk on it because we were luring them.
Right. Anyways, we surrounded him in a parking lot, and he was playing the stupid role. Like, I don't know how to get into a trunk. I don't know how to do this. It's not working for me. And the everyone else was like, no, fuck that. You can do this. Blah blah blah. And finally, Rooster got tired, and he just lifted his 357 Magnum and shot the guy in the head because he was tired of fucking around. And then that's not the wildest thing though. I picked this motherfucker up because as soon as the gun went off, nobody knew who shot. All they knew is he dropped.
Everybody scattered.
When everybody scattered, I picked his ass up, put him in my muscle car, turned the radio off, fired up my engine, and drove him up to the top of Mount Chiliad. Didn't say a word to him the whole time. We drove in silence. We were at Tequila La's parking lot all the way up to Mount Chiliad. Not a single thing was said.
No way you taking me, nothing like that. Like,
oh, he was talking to me. I didn't say a word. I drove him up to Mount Chiliad, parked my muscle car on the side of a fucking mountain, got out, found a flat spot, dropped his ass there, and I said, you better stay away from the girls and stay the fuck out of the tow business. And then I emptied my chamber, all chambers, into him. I used to refer to my gun as the voting booth, and he got a few votes that day.
The best part, the whole time he's driving him out there, we're on the radio, and everybody's like, where did he go? We can't find him because the cops have long left, and we're still out there like trying to find, like, so we can take care of it. And everybody goes, wait a minute. Where's Rooster? And everybody, there's radio silence for like 20 seconds. Everybody's going, God damn it. And we knew. So we're like trying to get a hold of him, and he's just not on radio. And immediately after he dumps him, he comes back on radio and he goes, I'm here. And everybody's like, where did you take him? And he goes, it's been handled, and turns around. Everybody loses their shit, can't keep it together. So we all like stayed away from each other for the next couple of days because they fully investigate this. This motherfucker comes back.
Oh, wow.
While we were out on a tow together and starts shooting at the tow truck and then running behind buildings like we don't know who the fuck it is. Like, we saw you. You're the only one that looks like you, John. What the fuck are you doing? Like, we saw your ass.
And I caught him again.
We got a gang. We had a gang that was a friend of ours, and they faked a call to get him out there. Cornered him. And this son of a bitch right here, once again,
dropped him, picked him up, put him in my car, turned off the radio, and then drove to the farthest point that I could think of and dropped him on some railroad tracks.
And just left him. The problem with that city, though, when you died, like when you had to get airlifted out or whatever, and you had to respawn, you lost everything in your inventory.
Oh my God. That's
brutal.
So when you take them out to a point where EMS can't get to them, you lost everything twice. We never saw him again. He never brought in another character. He just left the city altogether.
Wow.
Nurse Nancy is a thieving bitch.
You gotta make her cut.
Oh, good.
Yeah, right. You need a cut. All right. So I want to hear from one more person about this wildest moment. And this person right here probably has the wildest RP life. And that's J Money, man. J Money, I watched some of the stuff you do in some of these cities. This dude is wild. J Money, your wildest moment.
You know, like, I don't know. I get into a lot of shootouts, dumping people and stuff, but there's one in particular that I actually have a clip of. So in my original city, I was there for 2 years and I took a break for some time. And when I get back, I keep hearing these people saying, hey, there's some guy around here calling himself J Money walking around the streets and everything like that. And so I dress up in my fat suit, right? You know, I got my thing for a fat suit.
Fat
and
Tony?
It's Fat Tony, but it wasn't the ball of Fat Tony. This was in
okay.
the other server. Here, you mind if I pull up this clip?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's your name, man? What's your name?
Or not. My name is J Money.
Oh, what?
What the fuck did you just say?
J Money. Yeah.
Well, put your hands up, motherfucker. I'm the real J Money, motherfucker.
What?
Yeah.
Do you think I'm lying? Then I can show you.
I'm just telling you to put your hands up. I know what your official name is, but I've been going by J Money for way longer than you have. I have your ID. Don't worry about that.
I'm not lying.
Come out here. Put your hands up. Start walking out here, my guy. Come on.
All right.
Coming around
What
this.
did I do to you,
around
by
this
the
way.
way?
Are you going
I
by
also
J
wanted to
Money?
meet you for some reason.
Oh, I wonder what that reason would be.
Because
I think the fish mask is just doing it.
I noticed the fat suit is a recurring thing for you, J Money.
You're going to change your name on Twitter. You ain't going to be calling yourself J Money. That could be a legal name. I don't give a shit, but you're going to be tarnishing my name.
Why does this guy look like Drake?
All right. Sure.
Oh, that's what I was asking myself.
Oh my God!
Oh, damn,
God, bro!
He got dropped.
Shit. That guy don't have a head no more. Oh, you did him dirty. Oh.
Fuck this guy.
Bro, you put about 12 rounds in that to that dude's skull, bro.
But yep, that's the J Money story right there. That's probably the one that I was gonna share with you guys. So
yeah, J Money, you get into some wild shit, man. You definitely get into some wild shit.
I gotta say real quick. If you guys haven't done a cop character before, I suggest you do that because there is some shit that you'll see being a cop that's just like you're just like, what the fuck,
bro?
you
And
know?
honestly, you will never get a name out of me. There are a lot of people who be snitching on
Okay.
everybody,
Now
man.
wait a
God,
minute.
bro.
You can get people to talk like a bird if you know what you're doing. Like there is a lot of stuff that comes down to interrogations. Like you learn interrogation tactics, man. That shit is crazy.
Or when somebody lets you get taken from the bar. I let Vagos take him as his cop from the bar. Like I unlocked the back door for them so they could sneak him out the back. That was a dangerous game for you, wasn't it?
Hey, Hey, guess what? I still did my job.
It was funny as fuck, though.
I was the craziest head of investigations, man. I had every single gang on my ass. I had my own commissioner sell me out to the Spartans, and they came and shut up my goddamn truck.
Your cop was always in some shit.
I had the entire me and Lou Collins got executed outside the plasma game one day by the entirety of AOD. And then when I came back to get my car, I got shot by another gang. And man, listen, man, that is some crazy shit.
And then you met Rooster.
And then I met Rooster, and then I met Rooster. Actually, yeah, that.
While I was bleeding out on the pier, and y'all sit there and talked for another 2 hours as I was.
We
I
offered
had
multiple
bled out.
times to take you to
I
the
was like,
hospital.
no, just leave me. I'll be fine.
Just
I'm
leave me, I'll be
literally. I
fine.
had
I can
bled out
respawn
2
whenever I
hours.
want to.
No, I had bled out 2 hours before, and y'all sat there in lawn chairs in front of my body and talked, and I was.
The entire time I was apparently the entire time that I was off duty, just talking. There were like cops getting shot. Like I believe that's when the whole Jesse thing happened.
No, it wasn't.
Was it not?
Mm-mm.
There was some crazy shit that happened at that time when I was off duty, and I got
That
yelled at for it
was
when I
the
came back
start
on.
of the Oni storyline.
No, that wasn't that far back. That
explain the Oni storyline. Somebody explain the
No.
no.
So
no.
I had some.
I'd rather go to sleep right now.
I had some involvement in that, and
I'd rather
I
ocean
had
dump
to.
myself.
So the Oni storyline, basically, Oni was brought in to prepare for the wipe, to prepare for the server wipe, the restart. There
You mean
is
the
this
ass wipe?
Yeah, well, that shit happened, quite literally. So there was a device that was added into the server, and what it is I believe that it may be on another server too. But it's just it's a hacking device that you can hack into people's bank accounts, you can hack into business accounts, you can hack into like the entire city's bank account and like actually steal from player accounts. And so the Oni storyline was he was trying to figure out like how to intimidate the city into knowing him, and then him getting in and wiping the player accounts, and that being the wipe and everybody starting over. But the entire time he was just shitting on PD, and this dude had like rocket launchers. He had buzzards with missiles on them and miniguns,
Sniper rifles,
literally heavy snipers with
secret
20
of
times
who it
zoom.
was.
And it was a terribly kept secret. And he kept trying to play it off every time anybody would press him about it.
Like we didn't know.
PD, the equipment that we had to fight back. I remember I was standing on the roof of Mission Row. I was standing on the roof of Mission Row shooting at 2 attack helicopters in my Lieutenant White shirt with an M4 carbine. That is
you mean
all
like
we had
the
to
day
fight
they
back.
did the press conference and
and I walked outside and literally got shot in the chest.
Yeah.
And then there was the last situation that I was involved with Oni in. Actually, there was another one on my crim. But the last cop situation I was involved with him in, we went to Bolingbroke for a call, and we got there, and there were like 3 attack choppers in the sky, and they just started raining down on us, and we had nothing to fight back, and they like put us all to gunpoint. And I thought about it, like me and Bishop, we were talking about it, and we were like, we should have took the shot, like we should have shot those helicopters out of the damn sky. But then on my crim, I had a interaction with Oni there at the end. I was chilling at the bar, and this dude posted something on Twitter, and it was like a picture of a car. Just
oh my god, I give you so much shit for that.
On a nondescript road in Chiliad. So I know exactly where it's at. It's on the river beside Fort Zancudo by the military base. And I go there, and I was like, and I saw that there was a bike in front of the car. And like the car was running, I could tell there was somebody in it. I was like, oh, fuck, this is a trap. But I didn't see anybody. I didn't hear any movement, any gunshots, nothing. So I was like, man, I'm going to take my chance. Went, hit the car. As I got into the trunk and grabbed everything, as I was getting out, I got sniped like right here in the shoulder. And I just dropped. But I had everything on me. He didn't know that. He come back, like stood on my body for a second and said, better luck next time. And left. And then I DM'd him because he had no idea that I took this shit, bro. I got 500 bags of coke, 10 body armor, an SMG, and an assault, some type of like Draco looking thing.
The worst part about that was he literally took a picture of your body laying there and then posted it on Twitter. And we were like, I was like, we were looking at it because we were all in Rockford. We were in Rockford Records at that time doing a show.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the picture and I was like, wait a minute. And there was Sean and then your other character, Vic. Like, you guys were right there. And I was like, look in the picture. That's Tyler.
I'm talking about my fake ass Air Forces.
No, that's exactly how I named you out, too.
I came back. Because I left after AOD came and picked me up.
Mm-hmm.
I left the hospital. I called in my car, left the hospital, drove to Rockford Records with all this shit in my pockets.
Yep.
And I told Sean, I was like, hey, bro, can you walk me in real quick?
And I thought that was so cool because that was that same day we got Oni to actually call into the Rockford Records on a radio station.
Well, I remember that.
No, it wasn't.
That was the podcast.
That was not that day?
No, because that was the same one that Jesse came down. And
then,
and then you had me, Luke,
yes,
Lucas Powers, and then AJ. You had us come down, and we were like, "Hey, she ain't up in here talking about PD, is she?" And then Oni called in when we went back to the station to talk to her. We missed all that.
Yeah. That was so cool. Like, honestly, that was a really cool moment.
Yeah. Sit there and talk to the people that's terrorizing the city. I thought that was cool.
It was
the city administrators.
Yeah, that's all it was.
I mean,
yes, yeah.
Shot fired.
Nail on head. Like,
no. Here's the thing. I think I might have been with Rotten Hatred. I think I might have been with Kenny.
Oh shit!
Kenny.
The cops is here.
Yeah. We fell through Grandma's house and couldn't get out of Grandma's house, you know? And I swear that was Oni that came and pulled us out of Grandma's house. I swear to God. I thought that was Oni that came. And I'm talking to Vic. That's who it was at the time. It was Victor I was talking to, when your other character.
Yeah.
And I said, bro, was that Oni? And you were just like, I ain't saying nothing.
I don't know who that was.
We ain't asking no questions.
We gotta go. Look, all I know is we saved.
That dude told me everything about because he was like, yeah, we're gonna be wiping, but everybody knows that. And I was like, I had no idea, man, to be honest with you.
He told us. He was in mine and Rooster's DMs, and he told us everything. We knew way more than we should have.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. They wrote a shitty storyline, and I saw it coming a mile away.
Yep,
you did.
And
you told them their own story.
Yeah.
You messaged them their own story, and they were like, well, how'd you find out? And he was like, you told a shitty story.
Right. It was literally the same story in what's that movie with Brad Pitt and
it was Fight Club.
Yes, Fight Club.
But it was like
Really?
Club, you know, like it was like the Wish version of Fight Club.
Yeah, definite Wish.
Wow.
Yeah, hope and a prayer they couldn't complete that storyline on time.
No, man, that was like I told him so many different
late.
ways. So many different ways that like he was supposed to give PD some attack choppers and some sniper rifles to fight back with. We never got them. And I told him so many ways to like tie up the storyline, and he was like, yeah, man, I want to. I'm done with this shit. But it was just He kept making up excuses.
No, you weren't done with it. You were having fun, terrorizing everybody, spawning in shit, blowing up cars. The whole reason the cyber bar went under was because they kept attacking around it. And then we would get messages later like, oh, cyber bar was never supposed to be under attack. It's a safe zone. Like, it shouldn't have been. No, you literally blew up cars in a radius around the bar. There's no way you can say that wasn't planned on us. That was not a personal attack.
Yep.
What did you want from us when we got mad and called you on your shit?
And then Rooster fought back and caught a flight.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now it's like 10 people in a server. So
no, we're talking about the first time.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
you
I caught 2 flights
to come back, and then you got flighted twice.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, because didn't you get like a 3-day ban?
Yeah, the first time.
Well.
It was more than 3. It was like 7 days.
7 days. They put me on timeout for a week.
It was a 3-day originally, and then he got the bright idea to message them, and he was shit talking them, and they were like, "Nope, 7 days now." And I would expect
nothing less.
Guys, right now there's 7 people in mainframe.
Oh,
the most they've seen all month.
Big numbers. Big numbers.
Yeah, they blowing up. They blowing up.
I would like to say that I wished I had saved the VOD, but I'm glad I didn't. When I lit the match and threw it behind me on the bridge on my way out the final time, because like I cut deep and hard and like slit their throats. You know, the bullshit that happened. I was done anyways, right? Like I was done with city management. I was done with the way that they mishandled every fucking little thing.
Well, they did,
I was done with the fucking terrorist. Yeah. I still like the fact that the guy that shot me in the mines, even though Rooster's not supposed to know who he is, I still do. And I like the idea of walking up behind him and just slipping a couple of rocks into his pocket from the mine and not saying anything. Like
that was so toxic.
I know.
That was really toxic. He literally walked up to him and goes, "You smell earthy," and gave him a couple of rocks from the mine.
Okay, so you guys know the new life rule, right? You're not supposed to remember anything that happens for 15 to 20 minutes after you bleed out and have to respawn it at the hospital.
He knew the perm ban was coming. He knew it was coming by that.
Yeah, I could feel it. I could feel it coming in the air tonight. Anyways, Head FM. Sorry. And so when I saw him again, I knew who he was. And so Rooster walks up to him and goes, "You smell kind of familiar. You know, I'm not too good with faces or people's voices, but you smell familiar." And I didn't say anything beyond that. And he was like, "I've never met you any before. What do you mean I smell familiar?" I was like, "You smell earthy. Like dirt." And I left it. I left it at that. And I walked away. I didn't say anything else. And about 20 minutes later, he was standing by himself with one other person. And I looped behind him and slipped 3 unbroken stones from the last city into his pocket and walked away.
Yeah. It was just one of those last
fuck you before you bounce. All right, but before we bounce, I want to ask everybody, and we'll go around the panel again. What's one thing that can make this RP experience for you better? I'm gonna start with Skelly.
Better staff.
That's a good thing. Yeah. I definitely agree.
I'll have to say more. The first server I was a part of, like, there was a yearly incident where half the staff would get banned because they were fucking pedophiles.
Hey, God damn.
Yeah, that happened yearly. And I was like,
what server was that?
It was called fucking End of Days. It's shut down by now. Fortunately.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't be having that shit.
No.
I've been in so many cities where the staff is just complete ass. Like, sometimes it's even fucking kids who are like 8. And I'm like, dude, you shouldn't even have a fucking computer. Like, how are you staff? Ow.
I can't even stand a cop that sounds like they're a fucking child.
Oh,
I know.
Exactly. What about you, man? What's something that you think that can make this RP experience better?
Oh man, how
Cut his
long do
mic.
you got? Yeah.
Where did it
Look,
start?
let me try to condense it down into this. Every city I've been in seems to run on the same fucking blueprint of how they expect interactions to go. If you want to make RP better, stop tying people's hands. You know, like, don't expect everyone to RP the exact same way, because some of us motherfuckers like to come in there and find the angles and work them. And that's our RP. Rooster is mostly legal, I guess is the best way to say it. And he ain't never met an angle he didn't like. Like, I won't go into it. That fucking protest today is an angle that Rooster was working, right?
Yep.
You know, so like, understand that just because you don't like the RP, it's not low effort RP. It's not fail RP. It's just different than yours. And the other thing, raise your level of RP if you're playing. Get a little more creative.
Yep. I agree. Definitely agree. Kimmy, what about you?
I mean, I would have to just agree with Odd. You know, the same blueprint is kind of getting tired out on these cities. You know what I mean? The idea of having to wait for so long when people have the money and they're ready to, you know, put the right kind of energy into a business. You know what I mean? It kind of slows it up, you know?
That's a personal statement there, Hatred.
Hey.
We all know what we're talking about here.
You know what I mean? It's just, how do I put it? It puts everybody in a box, you know, the whole cops and robbers box, you know, when you see people trying to create something unique, it's like, you just got to sort of let go of the box idea. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
J
Money.
Okay. This one fucking grinds my goddamn gears. It's these fucking arena Andes that come in here with no intention to RP and they just want to shoot. They'll just all they do is they hit banks and then they try and push people into fucking shooting. Run around shooting everybody they see. Yeah, exactly. And it's like what
you want to change your background before you talk about people hitting banks?
Okay, hang on.
Tyler's on it. Tyler's already got it in the chat over here.
Yeah, I got away from that Vangelico. All right, so we got to go for round 2 here. But
I'm just saying.
hey, you got to hit Pack next.
Right.
But yeah, that's number 1. But I do got to give props to the. What is it, like only 3 or 4 staff members in Hidden RP, and they fucking kick ass in my opinion. I think they do a bang up job. Like, it's, I don't know, having and Vinny's like the only one that touches code too, and he seems to get shit done faster than some of these servers that have like a whole team in the coding department. And it's just like, hats off to them. Probably one of the best servers I've been a part of staff wise. But yeah,
sure.
What about you, Ali?
Okay.
Oh, exhale. I heard that exhale.
My biggest problem right now are the business owners that never open their businesses or they're never there. Like this shit going on with the certain mechanic shop that we talk about frequently amongst ourselves. People that open businesses and then never actually are there, but then tie the hands of everybody who wants to like RP as like in those businesses. And then staff response time on anything you try to get done.
If right you're now, not part of their clique.
That was the shit that we had in mainframe that was so bad. Like
I think there's a level of it here though.
There's a level, but mostly because it's such a small team. There's not a lot of them to go around, and there's not a lot for certain ones. I agree that there's some with 1 or 2, but it's not to the level that we saw in mainframe at all.
For the most part, it seems like when I put in a ticket, it gets resolved fairly quickly. There are some things about what goes on in the city that do take way too long. And what I'm talking about is like something as simple as getting a license. Well, give that job to someone else who's going to be it, or
Hunting
it doesn't have to
license.
be just one person to do it. Any cop should be able to do that especially if they predominantly working in Paleto, where you're going to.
Why not have certain cops that are game wardens only? Why not have that be in Paleto, because that's where the hunting areas are? They should be.
Exactly.
I believe right now I believe they're in talking about doing split departments. They're going to start doing like BCSO, SASP,
I'm fine with that.
LSPD.
Do
I
it.
feel like that'll help a lot, because I do understand your comment about the licenses. It's been a little ridiculous for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, we have a phone that has all these apps on it. You can make an app so we can get our license there. Police, someone rolls up on us, show them our phone. Boom, there's my license there. How easy is that?
Another reason that there aren't split departments right now is because it seems like about 85% of the officers are all sheriff deputies.
That's something that I noticed too that was weird. But one question, and this is for everybody: do you know anybody who actually lives in Sandy permanently?
No.
Couple cops.
Nah.
Meth addicts.
Yeah. A couple cops that don't want to do shit.
Phillips.
That's the talking cow in the first city we were in.
Sandy be Sandying. That's all I'm saying.
Sandy be Sandying.
Trevor Phillips.
Trevor Phillips. Yep. Radioactive Dog, what's up, man? What do you think can make this experience better?
I feel like over the time that I've played, I have seen a large influx of people into the RP scene. There's a lot more people in this shit than there was 3 and 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, leniency, like Odd mentioned, people just need to learn to grow the fuck up, act your age, act like you have some common sense, please, and thank you. But it's just the entirety of interaction. It just doesn't seem authentic anymore. You know what I mean? It seems like every time I fly in, something else is forced. Like somebody needs to do this because if they don't, they can't do this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there are way too many walls put up, and like Odd mentioned once again, you need more freedom to create, because that's the whole idea. And there's a lot more content creators on 5M in general than there was 3 and 4 years ago as well.
Mm-hmm.
And people are just running out of shit to do.
That's a personal attack. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Hey, don't let Rooster get bored, because then you'll really have a problem.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, if you guys get
you might find yourself
bored, make a cop character. I swear you guys would.
I've thought about bringing Elijah over. Like
I told you, if Elijah comes back, he's getting shot in the face.
You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit.
You'll go back to
you are not about it. You are.
How many times
Aaron
have I told you to
got
She bout it. She bout it.
She ain't.
How many times?
She thinks she is.
How many times?
I don't even know. I stopped counting.
I do want to say this. My experience overall has been a really good experience with RP. I've made so many friends and built so many connections. Hell, I got what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people on my pod. You know what I'm saying? I could have had many more. So I just think this is a really good experience. Made new friends, new connections, and things like that. That is my biggest takeaway from this, and I want to end this on a good note. What is your biggest takeaway from RP? Anybody can go.
Watch out for petty and jealous admins.
Listen, I have
positive. Watch out for it.
Watch out.
I have got to say, man, just you always hear people say time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time, and that is exactly the way it is with RP.
Yeah,
the shit that I do on here, man, is I love being able to go to bed at night knowing that I made somebody smile throughout the day. You know what I mean, man?
Right.
And it's really just a personal thing. Like I've got an attachment to this shit at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no other game out there that feels like this. There is no other type of game out there that you can make these connections, like I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yep.
That's just how I feel about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for showing up. Man, this was great, and we will do this again. Before we get out of here, I want to, just go around. Everybody spit their social medias. Skelly, go ahead. Social medias.
I don't have any, so.
Hey,
well,
that's good.
I
man.
do,
That's
but it's
good.
more
I wish
for
I
like
could say
my
that.
close.
All right, man. Social medias.
Oh man, the only thing you really need to pay attention to is twitch.tv/Cultivad. Otherwise, put the Cultivad into Google. It'll spit us out.
There you go.
Mine goes with him.
Kimmy.
Wait, why is this motherfucker got a casting couch?
You gotta have the casting.
That's J Money.
Hell yeah.
Did you not hear the Pornhub music before we started?
God.
Yeah, J Money been watching Pornhub the whole time.
Here.
Busy.
Kimmy, what's your social medias, man?
All double TING hatred. That's me. Follow me on Twitch. Where I be at?
Yes, sir. J Money.
Just Scardab. Twitch, YouTube, whatever else. Scardab. Look it up.
All right. Tyler.
Radioactive Dog on Discord, Xbox, Steam, YouTube, and Twitch.
Okay. I want to thank everybody for coming, fellowshipping with me on here. I really appreciate it. Again, this will not be the last time. We out. All right, everybody, that's it. Interview ran a little bit long, but I hope y'all enjoyed that, because I certainly did. A lot of good talk in there, a lot of good explanation. What I kind of wanted to do, like I said, is trying to explain what RP really is, and I just don't think I did a good explanation on what it was last episode, so I kind of wanted to bring some people in to kind of clarify and explain why I am so hooked with this. But that's it. I know it ran long, but I think y'all gonna get a lot out of it. I ain't got nothing else to say about the rollout. Want y'all to check me out. Keep checking me out on YouTube. From Chicago to the Dummast podcast. You can get me either way. From Chicago to the Mass. Sorry about that. From Chicago to the Mass. You can catch us. You can catch us at the Dummast podcast. All will take you to the same place. You can actually check out this podcast on Spotify, Podbean, and Apple Podcasts. And also check me out on Twitch. Check me out. Hit me up. Check me out on Twitch. I'm twitching every day. I'm up there every day streaming. From Chicago to the Mast on Twitch. And I'm out. Peace.